To Sis. Hey sis, it's been a while to say the least. I know I'd said we'd keep in touch, but stuff has gotten in the way and both you and I have been busy. Oh, and an unknown world and technically an entirely different species, but I'll get to that. So, you're probably wondering what's happened to me. I wouldn't blame you for being worried or mourning my death, but I am alive. Our ships got pulled into the unknown regions and we ended up crash landing on a planet. Thankfully, it was habitable. Unfortunately, only me and Jamie survived. During the crash, me and Jamie got separated. Jamie ended up in a forest, and I ended up in an underground facility. My body was maimed in more ways than one, and I was on death's door, but thankfully, or maybe unfortunately, if depending on how things might have gone, I was found by the natives and put in a new body, at the expense of working for what was essentially a dictator. Not wanting to aid in an authoritarian regime and hearing of a so-called Promised Land, I decided to escape one night. However, I was attacked by an agent of the rival species and their captain. We were fighting before we got knocked further into the facility and the captain was separated from their agent. After being awoken by the captain and apparently becoming friends, due to the song his grandcousins made, we tried to find our way back, only to find ourselves stuck in a metro system. There we met this AI that was built into an old telecommunications device. It designated me the number 8 and the captain made me an agent. We had to use the metro to complete these tasks so I could gain these parts to help get to the promised land. Well, I say we, it was me doing all the tasks, the captain just stayed on the train. And whilst we were doing this, we met some singer-songwriters from the promised land via radio. They helped us get they helped us in places, and one of them helped with levels I couldn't complete. Unfortunately, when we found all the bits, turned out the AI was evil and tried to blend us alive. Thankfully, at the last moments, we were saved by both the agent and, surprisingly, Jamie. He'd been recruited to stop the leader, and save one of the agents. They were both knocked unconscious. The captain looked after them whilst I went to find an exit to the surface. However, the captain was captured, and the agent and Jamie were hypnotized by the AIs, so I ended up having to fight them. It was stressful, but I managed to win in the end, freeing them all and making it to the surface. The singers managed to find us, picking us up, but before we could leave, the facility transformed into a giant statue weapon with the AI attempting to wipe out all life on Earth due to the successor species not being worthy of gaining humanity's knowledge. Thankfully, we came up with a quick plan to stop them by covering the statue in ink. It worked, but it was hard to do, and we managed to save the world just in time, destroying the AI. Ever since then, we've been hanging out. The singers were nice enough to allow me to stay at their place before I got my own, and Jamie was already staying at the agent's place. We've recently managed to find a place that we can all stay together. I've never been good with words, so I'll finish here. I miss you. I hope you're doing well, and I'm sure we'll meet again. Lots of love, Johnny.